We're heading back to the trail, and even in Vermont, occasionally get to see something that's really neat and out of the ordinary. And we saw this old covered bridge and got a chance to drive through it.
Well, they got this thing braced all over the dam.
Well, that's what's holding it up. That truss system. John, go down there and stand on that root.
Yeah.
Straddle that log, bounce up and down, see if you can get it to go down the hill.
Yeah. 25 years ago, I'd have said, hell yeah. And you'd be going, no.
I was kidding.
As I started down the hill, swinging on roots.
All right, 20-minute check-in, day 6. So we came from start at Upper River Road as opposed to Lower River Road, which I'm glad we did the extra 1.5 miles from lower to upper yesterday. That's a really pretty section, and you would think you'd have a lot of elevation gain, but a lot of it was flat and downhill. I was kind of amazed by that. So we are going all the way over to Vermont 4, which takes us over the summit of Killington at 42:35, I believe, somewhere around that. Got on trail about 7ish, and first 3 miles, or first mile, 3/4 mile, was most of it was flat. We got about 3 miles of gentle sloping up, and there's a section right here that was convenient to give you the update. And a lot of these rock walls we've come across, I guess they used to be property markers for old homesteads, and makes you wonder, was this some type of paddock or a field at one time that the property owner had, or what? But anyhow, so we got, after the 3.5 relatively decent grade up, we've got 4 miles of straight up where the contour lines look like they almost touch. So that will be interesting. But the rest of the day after that will be pretty much all downhill to 4. So they're predicting it to rain, to come in this afternoon, early this afternoon. So we may be off or catch a little bit of it, but we won't be seeing much of it for most of the hike today. Not much mud. Actually, another day looks like hiking on a decent treadway where I can look around and see Vermont as opposed to seeing Vermont in my feet. Showed you that picture yesterday. I'll hit it here again. Coming along with Pump Knot. Mike and Kathy had a spill also. It looked like she had to have like 11 stitches. Really nasty spill, and doctor took her off of trail. Said the dirt or mud in Vermont would cause infection. So sorry to hear that, but looks like she's gonna be okay. So Vermont is definitely, in them Vermont have definitely taken their toll on hikers this year. All right, we are Charlie, Mike, and Nobo to the summit. Chat with you later. All right, we're somewhere on top of Killington Mountain, hoping, we're taking our time, hoping that some of this will burn off and we can get a view, but it is not looking really good. Percentages are low for that so far. So we'll see, but the worst of the climb, the longest portion of it, is behind us. So I'm looking for Little Killington and then the Cooper Lodge. And then of course it's 2 tents, Blue Blaze to the actual summit where I think the gondola is. But anyhow, that's what it looks like up near the top. A lot of mud holes and stuff, roots and rocks up here. Haven't had rain in, I guess, not quite 48 hours. So it's passable without having to walk through the middle of it, but not near as bad as it was the first 3 days. Just taking our time, strolling through the woods, listening to the birds. I don't guess we'll see a moose way up here for any reason. I think they kind of stay around the ponds at lower elevations. Anyway, this is what it looks like up around Killington top, and of course we get to the summit, we'll show you that. Came by Governor Clement's shelter. It's got a fireplace that, and really deep back in there, where the sleeping bench is, and it's not a double decker, so you're not going to get more than probably 8 folks on it. 6 to 8. 6 without making your buddy smile. And really dark, and the whole deck was really wet. So it's not a leak so much of it is the humidity. It's down on the river, so I'm assuming that's where all the humidity comes off that in the morning. And it was a muggy day today anyway. Now up here on top it's muggy obviously, but its temps are probably in the 70s. Got a little bit of wind blowing though, so feels good without that wind. And with this humidity it would be like a sauna, but that wind really helps. And we'll probably have to put on our jackets when we get to the summit, because it's not protected. Get all the wind, chill us down. Another reason not to go balls to the wall and just take our time is so we don't get so sweaty when we get up there, get so cold. All right, this is top of Killington for what it is worth to you. And when it clears off, it just boom.
Yeah.
I had some folks I'm keeping up with on YouTube, and they were up here the other day, and they said you can see all the way to Mount Washington up in New Hampshire. All right, we've been coming down off the summit of Killington now for 2 hours. So what's comes to your mind when you say, I'm coming down from the summit? You would think you would go down, right? No. I think for every step we take in elevation down, we take 3 up. So I don't know when we're going to start going down, but it's only supposed to be 6 miles. And this section is rooty and rocky and muddy, just like it was 100 miles south of here. So at least it ain't raining out of the sky yet. I'm going down, y'all. Yeah. Oh, and these roots, they'll gang tackle you. Just like down 100 miles south of here. Looking at tomorrow, Thursday, supposed to be 100% chance of rain. So that's going to be a washout for tomorrow, which means another 0. Don't know about Friday yet. Friday's looking like, last I looked, it was 80%. We might go do a short section in the rain. Still muddling that over in my mind. Of course, we came up here to hike, but at the same time we came to enjoy ourselves, and I don't know how enjoyable that is. Just looking at my feet. Struggling to stay vertical. So I can't enjoy it, and we're probably not going to hike Friday, which means no way we're going to finish the 100 miles we set out for, because we're only at 60 something now. So that's washed out. So might as well leave with a good taste in our mouths, which means we'll look at the hourly thing, get together and decide if we're gonna leave tomorrow and we can get a different flight. I think our flights we could change, you know, and that's the rub with flying somewhere to hike. You don't know what you're gonna get. Can't really put it off. And you know, if you hiking supported, then you can't put it off either, which wouldn't traded this week for the world hiking supported. Those retread definitely made this week for us. Anyhow, we'll get back after we go down the mountain and see, get some dinner in us and cleaned up and check out the weather and go from there. Check out flights, check out tickets to see if they're changeable without a fee. Thought they were. Thought I paid a little extra to make them changeable. It wasn't like $25 or something. No sense in being stingy and not being prepared, so that's what I did. But we'll have to go back and check the, you know, if you don't have availability, you don't have availability. But if we were going to leave, surely we could find a flight open on, you know, probably not going to be sitting together, and that's all right. I've been hiking with him all week and sleeping in the same RV all week. By the way, he has sleep apnea, so sleep has not been a premium sleep. And if you are friends with Come Along, you need to talk him into going to get tested and getting CPAP machine or something. He's hard-headed, probably won't want to do it, but did that or he dies. A couple times last night he quit breathing. I'm like, okay, do I wake him up so he survives, or do I let him stop breathing so I can sleep? Of course, he started back up, so I didn't have to make that decision. And brain damage typically doesn't sit in for, I don't know, I think 10 minutes. So after you quit breathing. So I figured that I had at least it's going to play it safe and give it an 8-minute window of opportunity. Of course, if I'd went to sleep in those 8 minutes. Anyway, we'll see about tonight. Might get out on the trail and just go sleep in the rain just so I can get some sleep. All right, looks like we finally started descent. So let me go. This is going to be a quick descent, looks like. Well, it's the end of the day, about 12.2, coming down off Killington. So going up was good. When you get to the top, there's a lot of flat area and everything. Of course, being at the summit was cool, and so enjoyed that. Coming down, not so much. The roots, rocks, and mud coming down, and a lot of mud holes and stuff you're going to have to dodge. A lot of places where you wind up increasing elevation even though you're going down. So quite hadn't got that figured out yet. It's like Mystery Hill. But anyhow, I'm down roughly 2/10 from the truck. I can hear the highway, so I'll be there in no time. The weather tomorrow is going to be a rain out. Looks like 100% rain, and today we should be able to get an hourly reading on what's happening on Friday. Friday, they were calling for 80% chance of rain. I don't know if that means it's going to be a washout as well. So if it is, then that means we will probably call it, and this will be the last video of the trip. So I want to go ahead and let you know that, and then we will move on from there. Hopefully not, but if it is, enjoyed the trip immensely. You know, I always somebody always told me never split a winning hand. So we've had a good time on this trip so far, and the yesterday was a great hike. Today was a good hike, particularly the first half was a great hike, and being up on the summit and everything's a great hike. So enjoyed it, and hopefully be back here again sometime. No, that's a lie. I don't plan to come back to Vermont ever again unless I do a through hike. So we'll pick somewhere else to go. Anyhow, that is it. Could be it for this video. So as always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out here.